The second month of the year is coming to a close, and most of your New Year's resolutions have blown up in your faces by now. Maybe you ate healthy for a couple of days. Maybe you were productive for a day more than that. Maybe you read a book for 5 days. Maybe you went to the gym for 7. Maybe you were more positive, more optimistic, more grateful for 10 days. You tried, you really, really tried. But then you had a bad day. And then on the next, maybe you were just too tired, maybe you just couldn't be asked, and you skipped a day. And then it all went to shit. Quite a few of you have already given up on this year. If not consciously, at least subconsciously. Now, I'll be honest with you, it had been years since I'd even set New Year's resolutions for myself, because at one point you just give up. At one point you stop even trying to improve yourself. But I remember for as long as I had set resolutions, I would fail on them within the first week and then literally give up on the entire year. I remember this one time I had been wanting to lose my fat. I had been wanting to build a body that I at least didn't hate since like September. But I told myself, the year is coming to a close. We'll start afresh. We'll start in the new year. And so I waited until New Year's, and as the new year came around, I set my resolution. I'm going to go to the gym every single day for this entire year. And I couldn't go on the first, I was too hungover to go to the gym on the 1st of January, but I started from the 2nd. I went again on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th. But then something happened on the 6th. I don't remember what it was, but I remember it wasn't my fault. I think I had an old friend visit me, and so I skipped that day. I tried again on the 7th, but my brain came up with some brilliant excuse why I could skip that day. But then I went on the 8th and the 9th, and again something happened on the 10th. And before I knew it, the year passed me by. I am not exaggerating. I skipped the 10th, I remember, and something happened. Maybe I was too sore. Maybe something happened. Maybe I just felt too lazy. Whatever it was, I skipped the 11th and 12th and 13th as well. And before I knew it, I was setting my resolution for the next year to go to the gym regularly for the entire year. This time, I kept at it. More on that in a bit. Here's a secret for you. There's nothing special about the New Year's. There's nothing about the New Year's that makes it more likely that you'll stick with something. It's all about the mindset. I won't lie to you, the mindset plays a huge role, man. You want to take advantage of every ounce, every bit of external motivation that you can get. But you also don't want to rely on it, right? It's the same as when you accidentally waste away the entire morning, and at noon you have the thought that you could still salvage the day, you could still save it, but you've already given up on the day, so you say fuck it and decide to start over the next day. That's a terrible thing to do. Sure, you want to try and get a head start on the day by starting the morning off well, but you also got to grab every opportunity, every chance you get, and make the most of it. If suddenly at 7 p.m. you get the motivation to do something with your life, go and fucking do it, man, even if it's just for an hour. So do not, and I can't believe I have to say this, but do not give up on the entire year just because you got off to a bad start. Well, what do? You were so excited about the New Year's, you were going to do it all, you were going to turn your life around, you were going to have a brilliant, amazing year. But you failed. So what now? Here's the problem. You're too ambitious. You might say, that is not something anyone has ever said about me before. And then you might say, I just want to read 30 minutes a day. How is that ambitious? How many minutes a day did you read again over the past year? Exactly. How do you expect to go straight from 0 to 30 every single day that's too? I know it might not sound like much, but nor does a 5 kg dumbbell. But you best be sure you go to the gym on day 1 and you do 3 sets of 10 reps each with that very 5 kg dumbbell. Your arms will be paralyzed the next day. Consistency over intensity, my brother. Consistency over intensity. What matters is that you build the habit to read on a daily basis, not how much you can force yourself to read on a given day. Someone who goes to the gym for 30 minutes a day, 6 days a week is going to make much greater, significantly, unbelievably greater gains than somebody who goes 3 hours in a day and takes the rest of the week off, even though their total time in the gym over the course of a week might be the same. The person who's focusing on consistency over intensity is going to make unbelievably greater gains. That is what you want to do. So drop your ego and start small. 15 minutes a day, 10. 2 pages a day, 1 even. Start small and build up from there. I know you're probably thinking there isn't enough time to start from that small. I promise you, there is no shortage of time. And even if there was, you've tried your way since the start of 2023, right? For the past 2 months. How has that gone for you? Try this way for 2 months and tell me that it doesn't change your life. As Dr. Jordan Peterson says, aim lower. The conventional advice is to aim higher, and that definitely stands in the long term. But the mistake most of us make in the short term is that we don't aim low enough. I remember the first couple of times I tried to be productive. Each of those times I had spent the past multiple months not doing a single thing right. My productivity for entire months would be about an hour. Not in a day, in the entire month combined. And then I would see some YouTube video of a guy talking about how he studies for 12 hours a day, and I would go ahead and try the same. Needless to say, I failed miserably. The one time I was able to make it stick, I started with the goal to be productive for 1 hour a day. It took me weeks to get comfortable to doing that on a daily basis. And then I set the goal to be productive for 2 hours a day. It took me months to get comfortable at that level. There is always something or the other that you can do, that you would do, that would make your tomorrow better than your today. But the problem is that you most of the times consider that thing too small, too insignificant to make a difference, so you don't even do that. You've been waking up every morning and seeing that pile of clothes thrown on the chair, but your ego is too high to consider that a worthy task, so you don't do it. Anytime you have to sit on your chair, you pick up that pile of clothes and throw it on your bed. When you have to lie on your bed, you pick up that pile and throw it back on the chair, but you never do anything about it. It's been a while since you've cleaned your toilet, but a clean toilet doesn't make you rich, so you don't do it. Today, I spend about 12 hours a day, optimally. But that could only come out of putting my ego aside, aiming low and gradually trying to improve, gradually building up. That is how I finally stuck with my resolution of going to the gym regularly. The only goal I set was that I gotta try and do better today than I did yesterday. I have to try to make this week better than last week, this month better than last month, this year better than last year. So ask yourself, what could you do that you would do that would make it so that when you lie down on your bed tonight, your life would be a tiny bit better than it was when you got out of bed today morning. Do that for long enough and you'll build up to levels beyond what you could have ever imagined. That is how you go about it. With 2 months down, with 10 yet to go, boys, don't you fucking give up already. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and give yourself 5 push ups. Before you know it, you'll be benching 100 kgs. Make your dreams a reality one day at a time. I will see you in the next one.